It's time! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world. It is time for round 6 of the Midwest Motorsports GT4 series. It's Tuesday night. I'm James J. with Adam Sondag running cameras. They'll join us here shortly. Josh Watt running the Twitch stream. Thanks to all the admins at Midwest Motorsports to make this race possible. We have an enormous GT4 field tonight. 32 cars have registered to race this Nurburgring GP-Strecke circuit, 15-turn track located in the Eifel mountain range of Germany around the famous Nurburg Castle. Just a small portion of the full Nurburgring Nordschleife, which has more turns than I can count. Tonight, we're just doing the 15-turn Nurburgring Strecke track. You can see the track layout. We are starting in full night, going to even darker, if that's possible. 32 cars once again, several starting from pit lane. Chase Fincher has put it on the pole in the blue with white stripes McLaren. Brian Coxon going to start in the front row with him, also in a McLaren. These long straights definitely helped that out. Travis Rowe and Walker McNulty, row 3, the BMW, the new BMW for Travis. Walker McNulty also in the McLaren. Jason Phillips, Michael Odell, row 3. Sam Hubbard, Jason Wahlberg, row 4. AMG Mercedes there. Jesse Coffey in the first Porsche will start 9th with John Daniels in the Aston Martin 10th. After 10th, CJ Barzak, Jack Lucas, Nick Aslin, Justin Thaler 14th, David Wortman, Robert Snar, Aaron Mitchell, Ian Bakaitis, Brian Sarton, Anthony Castor. Welcome to GT4 Racing, Ant Castor. Christopher Hopper, last week's and division winner, starts 20th. Kevin Mayer, John Aslin, Nick Calguru, Taylor Montague, Andrew Miller, Alexander Stetler, Steve Hansel, David Stark, Justin Glickner, Norm Snyder. Several starting from pit lane from last week's infraction. Coming up to the final chicane now before we go green. Here we are around the final bend. Chase Fincher from Alabama starting on the front row, puts his foot on the floor, and he's gone. We are racing green, green, green for 60 minutes, 60 minutes. Expect one pit stop for this race with 32 cars. We'll test everybody's patience as Travis Rowe in the BMW goes wide. We're 3 wide into the first turn, second turn. Check out all the cars. Everybody 4X and above will be reviewed. Everybody's making it through on their best behavior as these GT4 drivers. Very active chat, very friendly with each other. The helmet goes on and the green flag is out. Who knows what can happen, but so far everybody on their best behavior, which is exactly what we want to see and what we are used to in the Midwest Motorsports League. Amazing, clean driving, hard, aggressive, but fair. Not a lot of takeouts. It looks like everybody has made it through. The pit lane starters are finally out on the track to join us. And I don't see a whole lot of cars losing spots. Looks like Sam Hubbard lost a few spots there, minus 10 for Sam Hubbard. We'll see. Maybe we can go back and look and find out what's happened to Sam. But so far, single file up front. Michael Odell is the big mover up front into third from 6th. Travis Rowe loses 2 spots, possibly from that turn 1. Jason Phillips in 6th, right behind. So here's Travis Rowe, the multicolored BMW. Coming at you, finally turning right to head down the long back straightaway, headed towards the chicane. And we're looking at Travis Rowe in that new BMW, the M4, first race night. This car's been available in the BMW. He goes deep and totally blows the chicane, takes out Michael Odell, just totally like the chicane wasn't even there. Oh, Travis Rowe, I feel bad for him. I know he's going to feel bad for taking out Michael Odell after such a great start. Last week's winner, Michael Odell, just gets T-boned hard I don't think I've ever seen a hit like that. I think that was at least a 4X on the first lap, so that one might get reviewed. Call it a hunch. Here's a replay. The new M4, maybe the new M4 brakes didn't work, and he knows he's gone. He tries to he avoids Walker, but unfortunately has no choice but to T-bone Michael O'Dell out of the blue. I'm sure Michael O'Dell probably jumped 4 inches out of his seat. By being blindsided, where did this car come from? And with that much speed. But Chase Fincher already out to almost 2 seconds of lead. Oh no, Brian Coxon has spun. Nicholas Calguru. Maybe it's just my timing. Don't count on me for Brian Coxon. Maybe it wasn't him. But Nick Calguru definitely goes around. He sticks with the old BMW. I noticed that Michael O'Dell also did. Brian Coxon still up there in the front. Apologies, my timing screen must have been affected by Travis Rowe as well. As the shot heard around the world, Travis Rowe's dive bomb into the chicane. Now that things have calmed down, I need to catch my breath as we watch Jack Lucas in the white and silver Mercedes work his way through. He's up 3 spots. Like to bring in Adam Sondag if he's available. If he's got his fingers off the cameras now that he can breathe a little bit. Adam, this James, you got us?
Hey, James, we've got a lot of action here on track already. It's wow, a lot more action than we expected. Maybe we expected a couple big moments in T1, but didn't seem to be the case.
They made it through turn 1. They didn't make it all the way around for the whole lap. They're still too wide through the chicane. It's definitely one of the better passing zones. As look at Michael O'Dell make it look easy. But yeah, I've never seen a shot heard around the world like Travis Rowe coming through the chicane. I'm imagining that his foot slipped off the brake or something happened there. What do you think, Adam?
Yeah, it'd be hard to know. It looked like he tried to go offline and go into the grass to avoid everybody, so it looked like he knew that he didn't have it. So who knows? Sometimes people's wheels disconnect. Sometimes, it's likely the reason Michael O'Dell is staying in the old BMW, run what you know, not something new. This isn't maybe a time to try out a new car here in the next league race, the week that it comes out. So yeah, who knows? Could have just gotten too excited. Anything can happen here. It's dark.
Sure. Easy to miss your braking zones. Brake markers, good point. Well, I don't want to beat up on Travis too bad. I know he feels bad for it for sure. He went straight to the pits. I know he got a meatball. Hopefully he's back on the track and rejoining the race and getting his enjoyment out of it. And, who knows? Michael O'Dell, he always likes a challenge. So he's currently 15th. We'll see how far he makes his way back up. You're focusing on Jason Wahlberg, which I like. Great idea. It looks like he's a couple of spots from his qualifying spot. But these guys in the Mercedes seems to be having a great race as well in the middle of the field.
Yeah, especially in the Mercedes. It's got nice power, can put that down, but it can really handle these curbs. So, you can see them hitting the curbs there in the Porsche and the McLaren. They don't like hitting the curbs as much as the Mercedes and the Aston here as Jason Wahlberg follows John Daniels. You can really hammer the curbs with these big front engine cars. They don't care. So that can be very helpful, especially when you have something like this chicane that you're just trying to blast through.
I agree 100%. There's 3 or 4 different types of curbs around here, as you can see. Some of them have a grating, a concrete lattice work on top of them on the outside, so even more racing room potentially to shorten your lineup. As Christopher Hopper, right behind Justin Glickner, Christopher Hopper must have lost a couple of spots. He was fighting with Kevin Mayer earlier in 18th, so he must have gone around. And check out Ant Castor. Welcome to GT4 Racing, Ant. Ant is a predominantly oval driver who has done quite well in the oval series, runs in the Cup Series on Sundays, and they're doing several road courses and even more possibly coming up in the future seasons. So Ant wants to get some road experience in as he follows Christopher Hopper. He's a good one to follow as he's last week's winner.
Yeah, it's great to see. It feels like recently more oval drivers have come over to start trying this, and it's not just that people are doing that in the league. We've also seen guys in NASCAR Cup Series seats getting time in GT4 cars. We've seen Bubba Wallace in a GT4 Supra. We've seen Ross Chastain in an Aston GT4 with Skip Barber. So the pros are trying it. Why not Ant Caster?
That's right. And he's got the Roxy paint scheme, the AO Racing. Usually it's the GT3 Porsche, that dinosaur with the teeth on the front grille. It's going to be hard to see it at night, but it looks really cool.
Well, I hate to correct you here. That's Rexy.
Rexy, not Roxy. That's right. Thank you.
Roxy is the pink version.
Right.
Haven't looked at their performances, but they are currently leading the GTD Pro Series.
Love it. I love the carryover, the crossover, even as GT3 and GT4. But you're right, Rexy. Thank you. Kevin Mayer in a McLaren this season, the Coca-Cola McLaren. He also transfers over from the Oval Series. He gets a big 2 wheels up.
Yeah, you can see there that the car really is unsettled with its balance, taking the curb that aggressively. Not sure if he got an off track for that or anything, but definitely can hit too hard in the Porsche or the McLaren, where that Mercedes and the Aston Martin can hammer through.
Yeah, Kevin Mayer's done a great job, a great progression. He's been previously in the Napa Porsche, and I've seen him progress. Also an oval driver in the past, and has had quite a bit of success in the truck series, and crossing over to the road. Like he's having a good job and progressing quite well.
Yeah, and people take it for granted that, when you join a league like this, there are a handful of people that are very fast and you can't run their race. So a lot of times you're on the comms telling them go left, go right, or what you're going to do so they can drive around you. Learning to be driven around is not something you practice for. You have to kind of learn how to run your race and not have a panic attack while the leaders are coming down behind you with 10 minutes to go. So, really impressive that Kevin's been able to, Kevin's up to 14th now. So, it's been running very consistently, not taking a bunch of DNFs. Great to see people, develop consistency. I think that's as important as speed, really, in some regards.
I agree 100%. As we're watching now, Justin Taylor in this long train that begins with John Daniels. So from 5th all the way back to 9th, just a little freight train here. John Daniels, Jason Wahlberg, Jack Lucas, Jesse Coffey, Justin Taylor. As Jason Wahlberg gets around John Daniels, I'm sure, is going to want to fight back. Justin Taylor looking up at Jesse Coffey with CJ Barzak right behind. There's Jason, and does John Daniels get a crossover in turn 1? Not yet, but there's this Nurburgring track. There's multiple different racing lines, multiple different opportunities to cross over. It really is about the complete lap time, or at least your sector time. Multiple different ways to run this. Let's see if John Daniels can cross over here as we get a little short run. Going to a replay now. Oh, a little bit of wiggle there.
Here's where Jason Wahlberg got the move done there, coming out into the front straight. So just powered down, had a better drive out of there. So,
and good on John Daniels for not dive bombing. Try to make up for his mistake, putting on the power coming out of the last turn. And they live to fight another day. They go into the very tight hairpin, turn 7, before the uphill chicane.
John Daniels has proven to be pretty patient. He's persistent. He's right in people's rearview mirror, but he likes to wait for them to make the mistake rather than dive in there. So likely to see him continue to play it safe here.
Yeah, sure hope so, knowing that it's a long race. We have 48 minutes to go. So just past the 10-minute mark, pit window opens about 40 minutes to go at the 20-minute mark, and will close at 20 to go. So I expect the front guys to stay out as long as they can. Somebody else might pit. I'm not sure about tire wear. I believe everybody's going to take tires with as many lefts and rights as there are, but again, the cooler temperatures at night might not be worth the extra time it takes in the pits. Time will tell. We'll keep an eye on that. And look at Michael Odell is 13th, up 2 spots from 15th just not too long ago, so not making as much progress as I thought. Again, it's early days. I thought I saw him a little higher, but it must have been another timing glitch. But not bad. He's being patient.
Yeah, and we saw last week that he's not afraid to try a strategy play. So maybe maybe other people will take tires and he'll choose to try to run on what he has, or, who knows? He may be able to try something different from other people, or maybe he thinks tires can get him some more speed. It does look like we did have a retirement from the race. The 65 of Sam Hubbard has retired. So here's a look at what happened to Sam Hubbard. Let's see if we can get that to work. Might be difficult since he left.
It looks like SDK is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes if people have crashed out and left, it doesn't like to show us what happened. But that's unfortunate for Sam.
Yeah, it's always better with Sam Hubbard in the race. He seems to be really fast, and just when he has a bad night, throws in the towel sometimes. All right. Jason Phillips up to 4th. This is a battle for the top 5 spots, so this is a podium at risk here. Chase Fincher, Brian Cox, and Walker McNulty, all McLarens. Then Jason Phillips, Jason Wahlberg, and the Mercedes, John Daniels, and the Aston Martin. So John Daniels again 5 seconds back behind this battle.
Yeah, the Mercedes drivers, or not the Mercedes, I'm sorry, the McLaren drivers love to say that when you can get into the high RPMs on that car, it really runs well. And this is a track that you can really build up a fair amount of straight line speed here.
Right. Yep, and I know the McLarens definitely like to stretch their legs.
Yeah, especially in 5th gear. That's not something that you hit a lot in these GT4 cars. They need downhill and a lot of runway.
Off a cliff with a tailwind.
Hearing reports that Travis Rowe may be having some technical difficulties with his hardware, so that could explain what we saw there with that incident with Michael Odell. So we'll see if Travis Rowe is able to continue. He is in the pits currently.
Of course, that would explain it. I mean, that would be my best guess, like you called it right off the bat. Not like Travis Rowe to do that without some sort of technical glitch. So,
yeah, been a very consistent driver. Travis has been near the front almost the entire time that he's joined, really.
And Michael knows that too, so I'm sure he understands. He's going to put the bit between his teeth now and try to shoot through the field up to 11th. So he's gained 2 more spots past Robert Sarton and David Wortman. And Jack Lucas still pursuing John Daniels. So Jack Lucas making progress, but John Daniels slipping back just a little bit after trying hard to stay with Jason Wahlberg. The fight continues. The first AM right now is Nicholas Aslan, who is last season's Truck Series champion. Our Oval Series, a 12-race season. Nicholas Aslan won the championship. He has a trophy by his name now. We talked to him last night on the Discord, and he was on the Cool Down Lap podcast. Very gracious with his time and told us how much fun he's having both in the Road Series and the trucks. Here's Aaron Mitchell in the old BMW with Steve Hansel with a manufacturer change, pit lane start, and point deduction. and he is up to P16 after starting from pit lane. So he's made it through half the field just in 17 minutes.
We've
Good on you,
seen
Steve.
Steve in the Porsche before, so going back to something that he knows.
Hello, my old friend. Oh, Chase Finchers. I hope that's a glitch.
Yeah, he's still fine.
It is. Yeah, he's all right. Oh, our buddy Hopper. Here's Hopper. I'm getting word he's already 1X away from a drive-through. He's had a rough go tonight.
You hate to
All
have to
good.
do it. It feels bad, even though nobody else really notices it's happening to you. It's embarrassing. You don't want to have to do it, but the pros do it too.
Absolutely.
Part of racing. You can see the brake rotors here glowing. Some hard braking down there as people come into the chicane. Jason Phillips, known to play with his brake biases a lot.
Chasing Walker McNulty. Oh, a little squiggle. Putting on the power there. But still, Brian Coxon is not pulling away too far. These guys are right together. Chase Fincher, he is checking out. He's in the zone.
Yeah, no rain for Chase to figure out this week. He had incredible speed last week. Got caught out trying to guess the weather, unfortunately. But outside of the weather, had incredible speed.
Yes, he did. And again tonight. The battle with Jack Lucas and John Daniels continues. John Daniels in the 82 has gotten around Jack Lucas as we're in the turn 4 section, headed down to turn 5, which is long sweeping left, followed by a long, harder turn 6, which is a right-hander, headed down to the hairpin. So it's important to get as much here. Stay close as you can. Maybe outbreak going into the hairpin. Not close enough this lap, but stay close. Get a slipstream up through the Schumacher S's. Make it through the hairpin first. John Daniels using a diamond path through there. Here we come up to the Michael Schumacher S's. Turn 8 and 9. Oh, big off with John Daniels. Gonna give Jack Lucas a run. Turn 10.
Exit speed's incredible here at this track. It's incredibly important to get good exits to make sure you optimize all these long straights. A bad setup can really throw you off.
Carry as much momentum as you can through each corner. Each RPM you carry on the exit of one corner, like you said, Adam, you're going to pay off dividends at the end of the straight and get your braking zone right for the final chicane or turn 15. In the pit entry, John Daniels looks like he's going to take it in now. Right at the pit window.
Wow.
All right. First one to play the strategy game, John Daniels.
It almost looked like that curb had kicked his car sideways. And he didn't intend to go in the pit, but maybe he realized at the last minute that his Google Maps was telling him he needed to exit.
Right. And this battle is so close. From 7th that we're watching now, maybe even 6th. Don't count Jack Lucas out. Don't count 6th place out. But all the way back to 13th, so you got like a 7-car battle. all within a second or two of each other. One mistake, you erase all of that. As Jesse Coffey in the Porsche chases down Justin Thaler in the Porsche. Justin Thaler doing much better on track than he did in qualifying. Up 7 places. Good on you, JT. You got a fast one, Jesse Coffey behind you in the blue and gray Porsche. Oh, going over the curbs. Bouncing the front end of that cart.
Looks like Ian Bakaitis has found his way around Nick Aslin.
Just now, Nick Aslin not going to give up on him. AMG versus AMG. Guys have been battling since lap 1. Ian Bakaitis actually up 4 spots from his qualifying. So good on you, Ian. Last season's GT4 and division champ. He's overdue for a good run.
Yeah, it got kick flipped last week.
Yeah, he did. Ended up turtled on his roof.
It's hard to say it's hard to say we hate to see it here. We hate to see the driver taking repairs on the pit, but everybody gets a big kick out of an upside down car.
If you didn't laugh, you need to check your blood pressure. So you have a pulse, because that was pretty fun to watch. Not for Ian. Oh no, Jason Wahlberg fighting for 7th. Misses the chicane. See if he had some help. Oh no. Here he is on the long back stretch. Top speed, top gear, hard on the brakes.
Oh,
all by himself. Did he blink? Oh, that was like a disconnection too. That's a big bummer.
Yeah, that'll be some repairs likely. Might be sitting there for a minute.
Move everybody that was behind him up 1 spot. Very unfortunate. Taylor Montague packed in his bags, said he's out. We go catch the next flight home. Thanks for showing up and racing with us a little bit, Taylor. Bad luck, not your night. As always, next week.
Yeah, that's the beauty of racing. There's an element of roulette built in.
Huge car field tonight, though. Thank you for everybody who showed up and raced with us. We appreciate each and every one of you. Justin Glickner getting some pressure from John Daniels. 19-second stop for Glickner. Doesn't show John Daniels stop at all. I wonder if I'm missing something.
Lap
0. 2 stops. So maybe he stayed out. Maybe he just John Daniels might have had a drive-through. Not sure. 24 is blinking. That's Steve Hansel. Right in front of Justin Glickner. And we're looking back at John Daniels in P16.
And it looks like that was the end of Jason Wahlberg's day there, going through the chicane into the wall. Looked like a pretty sizable crunch, so more than likely that time to repair exceeded the time left in the race.
It did look like wasn't of his doing, in my opinion, as John Daniels and Justin Glickner side by side into the hairpin. John Daniels elbows up, gets his way by Glickner. See if Glickner has any way to respond. John Daniels using the horn, saying, I'm coming through. Glickner saw him. So they, not my fight right now.
Yeah, it might be hard, and in this, especially this stretch of course, for Glickner to catch back up. That Aston Martin has a little bit more grunt when it comes to this type of run. Oh no, but that'll change everything.
There it is.
Don't need to go fast to past a backwards car. So that's unfortunate for John Daniels, just a little bit too much curb there.
Perfect example of patience there by Justin Glickner. Risk versus reward. John Daniels taking mega risk, throwing his car over the curb, getting two wheels up. The car's not going to turn with only three wheels on the ground. And now he goes the other way, and yeah, he's trying to catch it. No catching it. He goes around. Justin Glickner says, see ya in the showers.
Yeah, too much sausage. It's not an uncommon problem here in Germany. A lot of people aren't ready for that much sausage, but requires.
Can you turn down a good sausage though?
No.
That's our buddy Justin Taylor. He likes sausages. So John Daniels not making it easy for himself. As there is Justin Taylor. He's getting pressure from Michael Odell, who's made it all the way back up to P6. Amazing run. Michael Odell, last of the field. His fastest lap, 206.6. 205.9 was the last lap. Justin Taylor doing his best to hold off BMW charging from behind. Michael Odell taking an alternate line around. And Michael Odell on the inside. For now, Justin Taylor's going to have the inside line on this next. If he can put the power down, Michael Odell leaves plenty of room. They go too wide. Now they're headed down into the section. Again, turn 5 and 6. Michael Odell with the racing line. Justin Taylor has to let him go, tries to cross over. And he's getting pressure from behind. Jesse Coffey also in a Porsche right there. But there is the difference. BMW and Porsche, very close. These GT4s, BOP, we've talked about it. This may not be Porsche's best track, especially in the high RPM, high gear sections. BMW seems about right in the middle of each. So Michael Odell back in the top 5 after dropping all the way to 16th on lap 1.
Yeah, the first half of the track you'd think is where the Porsche drivers are going to be able to make some time back up before the other cars can really stretch their legs out back here.
If Jesse Coffey can get in that slipstream of Justin Taylor, and if Justin can stay in the slipstream of Michael Odell and get a good tow down into the chicane. The chicane that has changed many races at this track over the years. Michael Odell takes the bumps great in that BMW and stretches his lead over Justin Taylor now almost to 1 full second. Jesse Coffey behind Justin Taylor fills up his mirrors, but Michael Odell has claimed P5 for his own. He's got some work to do now to catch up to Jack Lucas, almost 7 seconds. Jesse Coffey gonna put some pressure on Justin Thaler here. Porsche v Porsche. Awesome riding along with Jesse Coffey. Guys are using, you have to be very specific about which curbs you can use and which ones you can't. Adam pointed out. Be careful not to use these curbs here. Definitely have a different angle to them. This one's got some extra greenery down into the hairpin. This track was first used in 1983. After they deemed the green hell to be too dangerous. Jesse Coffey continuing his pursuit of Justin Thaler. Michael O'Dell might be able to make it back to P4. Gives us a good time to talk about the points. Standings right now coming into the race. Michael O'Dell is the leader over Brian Coxon, who's currently in second by only 125 points. So Michael O'Dell needs to make this one a good one. I know it's early in the season, race 6 of 18. A lot of racing left. As he is the pro points leader. After, like you said, Adam, an incredible magician of a weatherman, to put rain tires on, a full drive, full sun track, read the radar just right. 3 laps later, it pours within 3 corners. The full track is saturated, and Michael O'Dell has the correct tires on, and nobody else does. Off to a bad lap 1, dropped down to 16th, and now he's made it all the way back up to P5. And chasing down Jack Lucas in P4. On the AM side, the standings are Ron Cabiltas, who started tonight from pit lane. Kevin Bridges, P2 in the championship by less than 1,000 points. So not a full race. And I don't see Kevin tonight, so that puts Nick Aslin right up in there. But Ian Bakaitis is making his play for a good race tonight, as pit cycles once again are starting to play out. 24 minutes to go. There's Ian Bakaitis, number 22. Mission 22 to stop soldier suicide. We are working lap 16. A couple of guys pitted on lap 14. More guys continue to pit.
Including leader Chase Finch.
Yep, Brian Coxon stays out. So this is Brian Coxon's overcut opportunity. Clean track ahead. And he'll spend a little less time in the nozzle on the fuel. And he does stop, so we'll see if that pays off.
Already not quite a stretch. A lot of times people pit right around the 30-minute mark. So definitely 30 plus or minus 10 is typically what we're seeing here. So not too crazy. Last week we saw Chase Fincher stay out go long on the overcut and stay on the wets as the track dried out. And Michael O'Dell made a bunch of time. So not going to see that this week. No rain on the radar today. But we'll be curious to see if this overcut works.
Does he have enough to go 2 laps, maybe? We'll find out. Is Brian Coxon currently second in the points? Makes his bid for the race win. With the 5-second lead, Chase Fincher came into pit, and now he's back on track. Brian Coxon stayed out. Chase Fincher only drops to 4th. I met up with Chase this weekend at the Barber Motorsports Park to watch the Fanatec GT World Challenge races, GT3, GT4 cars, touring car, Skip Barbers as well. Awesome time, Chase. Heck of a
Nice.
dude. We had a great time. Super cool, super chilled. Enjoyed some racing together. Definitely has the itch, the racing fan itch. He's a fanatic. It fits right in with all this Midwest Motorsports group. There's Steve Hansel having a great race as well. Steve Hansel up to P8, chasing Christopher Hopper, put him a lap down. Steve Hansel is chasing Jason Phillips, who is up the road a little bit. David Stark now chasing down CJ Barzak. Good on you, David Stark. Plus 16 for the day. I believe he had a pit lane start.
Yeah, the field's starting to spread out here a little bit more as the pit cycles work through. So we'll see if, as everybody starts working through that, if those start catching up. Chase Fincher still working his way back toward the front. Yeah. I believe Jesse Coffey still needs to pit in addition to Brian Coxon. So
17 seconds between Brian Cox and Jesse Coffey. So this could be your leader. Very, very likely, unless Brian Coxon can get 2 or 3 seconds per lap for staying out 2 laps longer on his pit. Maybe he'll be closer than 5 seconds, which is where he was when Chase made his dash into the pits. We overlooked the timing tower in the pit lane. Entry coming down the long back stretch, this final chicane. And Brian Coxon comes in. So let's see where Chase Fincher comes out. Gonna assume Jesse Coffey comes in as well. Chase making his way to the chicane. Oh, excuse me, already. Jesse Coffey stayed out. Oh, nope, he's still coming in. Here's Jesse's coming in. All right, Brian Coxon.
Not taking tires, it looks like.
Keeping his wheels on the ground in front of Travis Rowe.
Try to save Travis that time.
Can get him from here. Yeah, good point. That would be the 5 seconds he needs. Chase goes by. Brian comes out. .5, 3.6. And Brian has to warm his tires back up a little bit. They are relatively warm. It won't take long, 2 or 3 corners. So shouldn't lose too much more time. But he gained a little bit there, 4 seconds. I'm curious. Yeah, Chase Fincher stopped for an extra 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think he made some time up there on those fresh tires, putting those laps in as Brian worked the overcut there.
And it's only going to pay dividends for Chase as his new tires continue to get faster. Brian Coxon in second place. His old tires are going to continue to get older.
Looks like that'll be the night for Travis Rowe. He wasn't able to overcome his technical issues on his end, so that's a bummer for him. Hate to see that. A lot of cars fighting off tracks here today. We've had a couple drive-through penalties. The chicanes will make that fairly easy.
Yep, exactly. A lot of opportunity to just get two wheels off, trying to get a little bit too much out of going over the curbs or taking, especially that final chicane. You can really gain a lot of time. Are normally the bollards that flap down, the floppy bollards, maybe we'll call them, and you can nail those, but they really get it off track easily. Just misjudge it just a little bit. You really want to, because you can make up so much time, but you're running right on that edge, as we've already seen tonight. Good point, Adam. Very enticing. That lap time is just right there. Just take just a little bit more curb. I can get it a little bit more time. And you get dinged for a drive through.
On the long straight leading into that chicane, you've got headlights in your rearview mirror, and if you're not calm and confident in doing what you're doing, you're thinking about braking as late as you can and getting as aggressive an angle as you can on getting through there. So it does come in where, you know, the cars at the front of the pack might be a little more comfortable. Who was that there? Somebody was off track there, like Brian Sarton maybe.
BMW.
But you know, looks like that car's in bad shape. He's going to have to get towed to the pits there. Race control thanks you for not leaving debris on the track. But yeah, if you're not used to spending extended periods of time with a car on your bumper like Michael Odell is right here on Jack Lucas, then you might take that chicane in a different way than you practiced for the past week. So that can result in some off tracks, but also just some offs, as we saw a couple offs tonight. Not all of them related to technical issues with the peripherals and computers.
That's right. Michael Odell 6th, working on Jack Lucas to be back up into the top 5. And looks like Michael Odell's stop was only 11 seconds on lap 18. So he definitely took no tires, only 11 seconds of fuel.
Yeah, I think the night temperature is going to definitely help these guys save their tires from melting. But another strong run from Michael Odell. Unfortunate to get caught out there, as Travis Rowe had an issue with his equipment, no fault of his own, but tough for Michael Odell to get involved in that. But when it happens in the first couple minutes of the race, you have the rest of the race to try to make that back up. So Michael, as we've seen him post more about real life racing, karting, and spec Ford, we've seen that his racing here in the simulator has gotten a lot better. And you have to imagine a lot of that's related to being in those real races and getting more familiar with those racecraft situations and being persistent and knowing that things happen. So cool to see. That Jack Lucas has run a pretty consistent race here. We haven't seen him have any issues yet tonight, so we'll see if Michael Odell has the pace to get around him. Justin Thaler's traded in his good buddy and longtime driving mate, Justin Gleckner, for Jesse Coffey, as Jesse Coffey runs the Porsche now. So Justin not afraid to find another Porsche and follow it around. A lot of people think he leads this league, but some say he might follow. Might follow Justin Gleckner. Not tonight, though. Field still spread out here as we've worked through the pit cycles, so might take some incidents to bring the field back together. Nice field here at the 32 tonight. We've had 4 cars retire at this point, but still, it's a long track to get people together. So right now, the closest battles here, we have Jack Lucas and Michael Odell and Jesse Coffey and Justin Thaler. So a couple close ones in the top 10 here still. All these points matter for the pro guys. Again, we have pro and am divisions, but points are scored overall. So if you win as the am driver, the second place driver as pro will take the same points. Doesn't matter who is there. It's like Ian Bakaitis has held out. He still remains ahead of Nick Astlin here. Nick's really taken to the road racing here. Looks like we do have another retirement, our 5th retirement of the night for Kevin Mayer. So must have had some incident there after we were saying how consistent he's been this year. So that happens. It's a tough to keep for 60 minutes here. Keep straight. Let's see if we can see what happened to Kevin there. No, maybe not, because he already left the race. So unfortunately, we can't see what happened there. But that is our 5th retirement on the night.
Tough break. I'm sure Kevin will be back. He has a good time. Thanks, Adam, for taking over for a second there.
No problem.
Battles continue. Check it out. Jack Lucas has not left Jason Phillips, but now he's getting pressure from Michael Odell. Michael Odell's not found his way around. So good on you, Jack Lucas, as we're coming up on the 10-minute mark now. Starting one more lap, starting lap 23 for these guys. 23 seconds back from the leader.
Yeah, nobody was able to match Chase Fincher tonight. 10 minutes to go, still anything can happen, but he's still maintaining 7 seconds here over Brian Coxon, who tried for the overcut, but was, about 3.5 seconds from making that work there. So
Chase has doubled that since the pit stop. At 19. So in just 4 laps, put a second a lap on him. New tires paying off for Chase Fincher as the cars continue to circulate for the final 10 minutes of round 6 of the Midwest Motorsports GT4 Series. Sold out crowd all around. Camping also sold out. Thanks to everybody for showing up. 32 cars tonight. Pretty amazing. Amazing field. I heard you talking about Nick Astlin and Ian Bakaitis. As far as the points go, that will pay off. Here, Michael Odell on Jack Lucas. Michael Odell sticks his nose in. Turn 6 and 7 once again. 5 and 6. Complete the pass. Michael Odell can get back. Jack Lucas gets in line and watches the BMW get smaller and smaller. Half a second now ahead.
yeah, luckily the incident that Michael was in was very early in the race and did not result in him taking any repairs. So or at least that we know of. I don't believe his times reflected any repairs, but he's had the bit in his mouth ever since, and he's been running. So
An 11-second stop on lap 18. I can't imagine he's doing any fuel saving. So he is. You called it, Adam. Actually, said maybe he takes no tires at the pits. We think Brian Coxon took no tires, and he stopped for 19 seconds. He was still just, 2 laps after Odell pitted. So, I mean, that's 8-second difference on the pit lane. Michael Odell passed quite a few cars in pit lane. Give his pit crew a raise.
Yeah, I'm wondering if anybody took tires. Maybe Ant Caster took tires. Again, Ant Caster new to jumping over here. If you're not familiar with iRacing, when you roll into the pit stop and it's your first race running a new car in a new league, you don't look at what tires you have set up, and sometimes you take tires you didn't mean to take. So that can happen. Not everybody has the beautiful button boxes and all sorts of stuff where they can select what they want. I know myself. As soon as I hit pit, I start looking for my mouse to try to see what I actually have set up to take. If not, in ovals, at least you have a little bit of time to tab over and see what you've got set up. It's not as easy here in the road cars.
And the heat is on. You're under pressure. Your first event, you're having a good time. You want to get it right, and you reach over, and those tick boxes just kind of get pretty small when you're in a rush.
Lessons aren't learned easy in racing.
Right. Exactly. But that's something to practice. It could pay off. It could pay off this Sunday at Watkins Glen for Ant. Michael Odell uses the pit lane.
Big block down the inside there. Oh, and he tried too hard.
Yes. Those old tires not helping him there. But yeah, definitely a different line going in. Carry too much speed. Jack Lucas returns the favor. Good on you, Jack Lucas. What a move. Speaking of pressure, here it is. Oh, Michael Odell just leaving room for Jack Lucas on the outside. Puts him too early and too hard on the brakes. Jack Lucas says, all right, thank you very much. Here I am, Michael. He's definitely 2 lanes past the apex going across the rubber with locked up front brakes.
He'll certainly be frustrated with that one.
Yeah, he want that one back.
Yeah. Drove in the rearview mirror for one too many turns.
5 minutes to go. He might be able to reel in another fight, but the way Jack Lucas has been running, I'm not convinced. I think Jack Lucas might hold on for that top 5. Is Walker McNulty under pressure from Jason Phillips? This is a battle. Jason Phillips on the inside through the kink at turn 12, coming into the chicane with a lap car, graciously gets out of the way. Thank you, sir. Jason Phillips gets by Walker McNulty, the end of that long straightaway. And Walker McNulty looks like he's coming in the pits. Maybe a drive-through?
Yeah, we'll have to hear from race control if that was a drive-through or not.
Great cameras. Thanks, Adam. Jason Phillips. Move him up a spot, and that also will move Jack Lucas and Michael Odell up a spot. So Michael Odell might still come out with the top 5 out of this yet. He can get by before Walker gets out of the pits.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row, we've really seen that Michael Odell has the speed to overcome incidents and mistakes. And so we've really seen him be able to pick up and clean up after that. I myself do not have the pace to cover off any accidents. So
you did pretty good from what I remember. Running the Aston Martin in the GT4 series races, I remember watching you, calling you.
I had a good time at Bathurst a couple seasons back before I started working the booth. Love Bathurst, great track. Aston Martin runs really well there. I did total the car at Long Beach, so.
You're not the only one, and not the first either, for sure.
The wall at turn 1 at Long Beach is very stiff.
Yes.
Justin Thaler finally made his way around Jesse Coffey, but they have picked up Robert Snar after his pit stop.
I think Jesse has been chasing Justin the whole race. This is a 3-way battle. 6th, 7th, and 8th right here, 2 wide. Through the Schumacher S's, Justin Thaler holding on to that 6th place. He goes up as cars go down. This group is in front of Walker McNulty. So Justin Thaler up to the 6th now. Jesse Coffey still has not found a way around. Jesse Coffey. And Robert Snar now in the middle. Great drive tonight by Robert Snar. The Mercedes AMG. Porsche, Mercedes, Porsche.
Race control has confirmed the 12 of Walker McNulty did not have a drive-through. So I believe he just needed fuel maybe. Maybe he didn't have enough fuel to finish the run. Pitted a little too early. Ran a little too hard.
Yep. 6.4 stopped in the pits on his second stop. So, yep, fuel only. Mistimed his fuel. Either that or he came in for tires. I agree with race control, probably just fuel.
Michael Odell is at the limit for a drive-through, so
oh no,
he'll have to watch himself here for the remainder of this race.
You remember what happened in Barcelona? Ryan Cabiltas, your current leader in the AM division, was at 15X, got a 1X on the very last lap while leading, had to serve a drive-through on coming to the checkered flag and lost the race. So
yeah,
hopefully Michael Odell can keep it clean.
Everybody loves the pit crew in the garage, but you don't want to see him that bad.
That's right. That's right.
Not worth it.
Not till after the flag, not on a unplanned visit. Can Jesse Coffey get that position back from Robert Snar? He wants it. Jesse Coffey. What a clean race. These guys have really been racing hard. Follow the leader. Lap after lap after lap as we're under a minute to go. The leader just starts a lap, so this is likely going to be his final lap. Michael Odell hunting down Jack Lucas, trying to get that spot back. He had it and gave it back to him. Now he's got to do it without getting any off tracks. But a dangerous move that would be to risk all those points, man.
Yeah, I mean, not only on off track, but also a late break that results in contact is potentially dangerous as well. So really have to err on the side of caution and try not to put this in the hands of netcode.
Right. Even think about netcode. 25 points, Michael. Is it worth it? 25 points, the difference between 5th and 4th. You have a 125-point lead over Brian Coxon, who was 2nd.
Same spot. This is deja vu. Oh, he's not able to get the run, though.
No off tracks. No off tracks. He leaves plenty of room. Jack Lucas, let's see if he got it.
Yeah, very generous from Jack Lucas there. His run was also compromised there on the inside without getting the runoff. The car runs wide on that turn, so it's hard to make.
Jack Lucas is not giving up. He's in the slipstream. And the AMG find the top gear and get by. They're very fast. Turn 10 and 11. And important to get a good run out of here. Only the chicane and the final turn are left. But Chase Fincher coming across the line now is going to be your winner. Chase Finch from Alabama sees the checkered flag to flag victory, putting it on the pole. Chase Fincher with the W. Brian Coxon coming in P2. Jason Phillips coming around the final bend with P3. And Michael Odell has held off. Jack Lucas so far did not take the pits, so I'm going to assume he did not get an off track. Can Jack Lucas get a slipstream and get by? Not quite. Michael Odell P4. Jack Lucas 5th. Justin Thaler with 6th. What a great run. Robert Snar holds off Jesse Coffey for 7th and 8th. Everybody is happy to finish the race. What a competitive race. Walker McNulty with the splash after misfueling. Yes, I'm hearing from race control. Oh my goodness. Good run for Steve Hansel. P13, up 15 spots from the pit lane start. And your AM driver winner, Ian Bacaitis, last season champion, finally gets a win. Ian Bacaitis for the W. In the AM division, Nicholas Aslan right on his bumper. Also, 2 Mercedes AMGs in the AM division. Nick Aslan and Ian Bacaitis. Justin Glickner comes around for P16. David Stark, P17. And Ron Kabiltas takes 18th for the final spot on the podium. Good on Norm to complete the race. P23 overall. Unbelievable. I'm hearing of some DQs. We'll wait for confirmation on that later. But there's no question who the winner is. We'll wait for those drivers to come into the voice race chatter down below. But in the meantime, what a run for Chase Fincher, flag to flag. I'm hearing Michael Odell might be DQ'd. No, not 51, not 53.
The 51 of Nicholas Calguru,
Calguru?
I believe, unfortunately exceeded the limit for incident points
On the last lap.
So the 56 was close, but I believe he was able to stay safe.
Good news. Great news. What a run for Michael Odell after getting T-boned. Hardcore. The shot heard around the world on that first final chicane on lap 1. Still looking for Ian Bacaitis to join us. We'll give him a couple more seconds. He's probably celebrating with the victory champagne. I do see Chase. Hey, Chase, it's James and Adam in the booth. You got us?
Hey, brother, you got me?
I got you, Chase. Man, put it on the pole, flag to flag. You can't really ask for much more than that, huh?
No, no, it was, I was not expecting this earlier in the week when I did initial testing. I think after 4 laps, I could only muster a 2:07.6. So I was thinking more mid-pack, but, I mean, I just put the work in trying to get as consistent as possible. And I mean, it paid off today. I wasn't expecting it, but I'll take it.
Yeah, you definitely earned it, man. What a great run, man. I'm really happy to talk to you again after a great weekend at Barber. But man, tonight was crazy. You know, Brian Coxon never left your tail there. And then
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw what happened behind you, but
no,
what's going on?
I tried to focus forward. I kept an eye on the relative, and every single time I would chip away some time, he would chip it right back. So, I mean, it would go back and forth, a half a second here, a half a second there. I was probably only a 10th or 2 per lap on average faster than him. But yeah, I was definitely pushing because I noticed I wasn't gaining any ground. But I mean, that's what you get here. You're not just going to walk away with it. That's what I love about this place.
Adam, you got anything for our race winner, Chase?
Hey, Chase, Adam here. Yeah, I was just curious. What did you learn from James here over the weekend? Did you pick up any tips for James?
Oh God. There's probably some stuff I don't need to discuss.
There you go. That's right, Chase.
We had a great time. I wish I could have stayed longer, but yeah, I had to get home and help with the girls. But yeah, it was a blast. Just finally to get to meet someone from the league and who none other than the voice. So
Sure.
Yeah, I had a blast, and I would love to do it again next time Barbers has something. Or hey, Road Atlanta, it's not far.
I was gonna say that's my next thing is
Petit Le Mans
Petit Le
soon.
Mans.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I hope
great.
it's not a monsoon. but Petit Le Mans is soon.
Great 2 weeks here. You've had a lot of speed both weeks. No weather to worry about tonight.
Yeah,
Just nice, cool track.
difficult strategy calls to make.
Right. Yeah, we saw Brian take an overcut there, and you're able to cover that off by just about 3.5 seconds there as he came out on fresh tires. So
Yeah, I knew with the lead that I had, I could be pretty easy with my outlap after pit. So I probably took it a little bit slower and more cautious than I should have. But yeah, I mean, seeing just obviously being in first, you want to stay in first. So seeing anybody when you come out of pit, then behind you, it's not the easiest track to pass at, especially if you can hold a good line and get a good exit. But I saw a 3.5 second lead, and I was like, okay, well, there's at least a buffer if I have a mess up here or there. But I think I got caught up with traffic. I think it was I think Kabiltis was having a really good battle in front of me, and I think I lost about 1.5 seconds near the end of the lap or in the end of the race. But overall, just I tried to race clean, but literally turn 2, I got off track. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. So.
Well, we saw a lot of incidents in the field. A lot of people were fighting the track limits and race control there. So nice run and way to finish clean.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So we got a week off, and then the Misano circuit. Any history with you there at Misano?
About 10 minutes. That's about all I've got so far. So.
Well, I don't think you're the only one that's going to be using the extra week off to.
Oh yeah, it's the testing I did was on the server session, and it seemed very hot and very slippery. So I think it's just going to be managing tires. I think whoever can manage tires the best and keep a clean race is probably going to be the one who comes out on top.
That's right. Long straightaways, the McLaren might be pretty good over there too. So anyway,
Yeah,
we look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, there's a few high-speed turns, and the McLaren doesn't really particularly like those. So it's all about setting yourself up to have a good drive out of corner, so that way you don't really get run down on the straights with draft, and someone can put a nose in on the turns.
Yeah, well, you put that to perfect precision tonight, man. It was definitely a class run, smart drive, and congrats on a great win, man. You did it. Congrats.
I appreciate it, guys. Good to talk to y'all again.
Hey, you too, man. Well, hopefully we'll talk again soon. That's your winner, Chase Fincher. He does it at the Nurburgring Grand-Prix-Strecke circuit. And we have our AM winner, Ian Bakaitis.
Hello.
Ian, congrats on a great run, man. What do you think? How did it go for you? Oh, shoot, I just hit the wrong button. Let's see if I can try it again. Ian, you got us? Nope. I pushed the wrong button. He'll come back. We're not going to get rid of Ian. There he is. Sorry about that, Ian. Let me get you off mute. We'll get you back, man. I almost gave myself the boot, ended up giving you the boot. Hey, Ian, long time no see, man. Good to see you back in the winner circle, man. Congrats.
I know. It's first time this season. I was thoroughly impressed with myself.
Yeah, you should be. You had to work with it, man. Nick Aslan was right on your bumper pretty much the whole race.
Oh, yeah, and he was. It looks like probably the last 10 laps he was catching up to me. He was making me a little scared there.
Anything else eventful happen to you out there? I know we were watching the battle up front. We caught you a couple of times, and you were, I wouldn't say cruise control, but you were putting down some really, really fast laps. And that's what you have to do, as you know, to win the AM division again. So this is definitely going to help your points. But what was your secret today? Any event that sticks out?
My secret to the prop? Not really. I mean, I know I was talking with Michael O'Dell in the race, and kind of unfortunate what happened to him on lap 1. But with that being said, we all just kind of stayed quiet, put our heads down, and kept battling it out.
So no close calls for you then. Clean sailing,
No,
other than.
Yeah, I was pretty much in a bubble of safety this entire race, which is I'm really glad about. considering what happened to me last week.
Yeah, that's right. I bet. And we feel you. I feel you on that one. Adam, you got anything for Ian?
No, just glad to see you back out after such a horrific incident last week.
Yeah.
AMR safety team had some work to do. Glad they put you back together, and good to see you out there. Looked like a really clean run. Nick Aslin's been running really nice since he joined and came over here. So interested to see how that battle plays out. And Ron had, I believe, a pit lane start today, so had some other
Yeah.
trouble. So so things are going to get interesting here in the AM division.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see how they end up.
We're race 6 of 16 for the season. We got a week off. Have you had any experience at Misano?
Absolutely not. 0 laps. Not
Yeah.
even driving down the pit lane.
Well, again, just like I told Chase, I'm sure you're not the only one, so I'm sure you welcome the week off to give you a little extra time to get it together without feeling too stressed. I'm sure it's going to be great. Keep using Garage 61. I hope everybody's can learn from each other on that.
Yeah, of course.
What's your key to making a run for it? Do you have anything in your back pocket you're going to pull out, or just more clean, consistent racing like tonight?
Clean, consistent racing is key, but there's a thing that comes to my mind. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
There you go. All about it. Well, let's do it, man. Enjoy your week off. Ian, congrats on a great run, man. Don't forget to drink the champagne tonight, man. You earned this one.
Thank you. I will.
That's Ian Bacaitis, your AM division winner. And a wrap. Let's see if I can kick him without kicking my buddy Adam out this time. Adam, man, what a great race we saw tonight. Thanks so much for joining me. What do you think, man? Where do we go from here?
From here, we go to Misano, the land of Ducatis and MotoGP. So it'll be curious. Right. I'm expecting people don't have a lot of experience turning laps there, especially compared to a track like the Nurburgring, where people have a lot of laps there around the Grand Prix. So this might be interesting to see. We might see people again have some issues. It's not as wide of a track, if I recall. So it'll be interesting. Guys will have to go back and watch the MotoGP race from the weekend to catch up on how to run there.
That's right. I think going to be interesting for sure, and I'm not going to miss it. I hope you don't. Big shout out to you, Adam. Thanks again for doing the cameras and the commentary, multitasking. I know it's hard work. I appreciate you very much. Thanks a lot to Josh Swat for running the Twitch and all of the Midwest Motorsports admins for making this league possible. For the 32 drivers, congrats on a great race. Thanks for showing up and giving us a good race at the Nurburgring. Enjoy your week off, and we'll see you in 2 weeks at Midwest Motorsports. GT4 Series comes back in 2 weeks, next Tuesday, 2 weeks from now, 7 o'clock p.m. Practice opens. We'll see you then. Until then, stay in your lane.